From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, Alaska State troopers say they are investigating the death of a North Pole man as a homicide. The body of 21-year-old Todd Nozel was found Sunday on a dike near the Tanana River in Fairbanks.
Now, because the investigation is still active, troopers would not release the cause of death nor details as to when Nozel was last seen alive. But they did confirm they are waiting for autopsy results to shed further light on how he died. Next of kin has been notified. Now, if you have any information, troopers ask you to phone them at 451-5100. And in other news, a former commander of the Fairbanks-based trooper detachment was sentenced this afternoon for sexual abuse of a minor. As part of a deal with the state, 76-year-old Warren Tanner pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual abuse of a minor under 13. Tanner was sentenced to serve 12 years jail time and will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. According to court documents, Tanner abused the victim in his North Pole home, forced her to undress, and then touched her inappropriately. The abuse dated back to 2003 when the alleged victim was 3 or 4 years old and continued until 2011. Tanner originally faced 6 charges in the case. He was taken into custody to begin serving his sentence immediately after the hearing.
Support the victim's representatives, support the plea agreement, and they apparently do. According to the district attorney, they have been kept informed. So that is a large factor to take into account. Given that, I will accept the plea agreement as appropriate under all the circumstances.
6 teens were arrested late last evening after a victim was injured in an attempted burglary. Cy Thomas, Patrick Genter, and Tyler Mullen, all 18 years old, are defendants in the case. Now 3 17-year-olds' names have been withheld. According to Megan Peters of the Alaska State Troopers, the teens attempted to burglarize a home with a firearm. One victim received injuries after being struck with a baseball bat. The home was allegedly targeted before by one of the juvenile defendants. All 6 face charges of attempted burglary, 2nd and 3rd degree felony assault and weapons misconduct. Now they'll be arraigned in Fairbanks District Court tomorrow.
Senator Dan Sullivan is spending time in Alaska while the U.S. Senate is on recess through April 10th. Today he spoke with the business community as the featured speaker at the Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce weekly luncheon. Senator Sullivan gave an update on his first couple of months in office. He blasted the Obama administration's attempt to designate areas of ANWR as wilderness, an act that would block oil and gas development in the coastal plain section of the refuge. Now, Sullivan says this will not earn congressional approval. Senator Sullivan chairs the Fisheries, Water, and Wildlife Subcommittee for the Senate Environmental and Public Works Committee. He will chair a subcommittee hearing on the Environmental Protection Agency's Waters of the United States rule tomorrow morning. That hearing begins at 9 in the Borough Assembly chambers. Now, Sullivan says the rule is a prime example of the EPA's overreach and that he wants Alaska voices heard at an official hearing.
This is an official hearing of the Environment and Public Works Committee. There are staffers from the Democratic side, the Republican side, all in Fairbanks right now prepping for this hearing. And we want people to understand the ramifications of this rule. There is bipartisan support right now, I believe, in the Senate to either roll this rule back or make the EPA start over.
Fairbanks City Councilman Jim Matherly filed a letter of intent this morning with the Alaska Public Offices Commission to run for Fairbanks City Mayor in 2016. Matherly, a lifelong Fairbanks resident who owns a local insurance agency, is serving his 2nd term on the council. Though he must wait nearly a year and a half to officially declare his candidacy with the city, Matherly says he filed with the APOC to let current Mayor John Eberhardt know there is, quote, someone running for his seat. Now, Eberhardt is in his 1st term as the city's lead executive. Matherly says serving on the city council has been quality on-the-job training to be mayor, adding that he will continue to use it as such throughout the next 18 months.
Now, when I look at decisions, I'm going to look at decisions and I'm going to say to myself, what would I do as mayor? What could I think about as mayor? I'm going to picture myself in the position. I'm close to it already as a councilman, but I want to think about it. What would I do if I was in the mayor's shoes? The mayor is our lead negotiator. The mayor goes to the negotiations for lots of different things that represents the city. Well, I can go. It's certainly something I can attend if he attends, but I want to put myself in those shoes.
Okay, when we come back, a 24-year-old woman accused of trying to rob another woman in the Walmart parking lot was arraigned today.
Also, nearly 20% of us experience neck pain for various reasons. In tonight's health report, we'll explore one of them. These stories and more when we come back. Welcome back. A 73-year-old Fairbanks man is in jail after troopers say he was found with 60 grams of cocaine. Charles Arthur Ash faces a single felony count of third-degree misconduct involving a controlled substance. According to a release, the Fairbanks Statewide Drug Enforcement Unit began surveillance of Ash's vehicle after observing a drug deal in a local parking lot. Yesterday, troopers stopped the vehicle and located cocaine underneath the driver's seat during a canine search. Ash was taken to Fairbanks Correctional Center and is being held on $7,500 bail, plus the condition of a court-appointed third-party custodian.
A 24-year-old Fairbanks woman accused of conspiring to commit robbery in the Walmart parking lot was arraigned this afternoon in Fairbanks District Court. Samantha Rogers also faces felony assault charges in the April 5th incident. Now, according to court documents, Rogers and her co-defendant, 45-year-old James Davison, attempted to rob a woman at gunpoint while she was in her vehicle. The woman refused to open her door and was able to get away unharmed. She told police she owed Davison $100. Police were able to detain the two suspects shortly after the incident. Rogers told police she waited in the vehicle and didn't actually pull the gun on the victim. She is currently being held at Fairbanks Correctional Center on $5,000 bail, plus the condition of a court-appointed third-party custodian.
The United Nations has declared 2015 as International Year of Soils, as they are key for food, fiber, fuel, and more. This Saturday, 2 free workshops are being offered by Alaska Soil and Water Conservation District. Resource specialist Jessica Gurrit says the first will benefit new and existing homeowners, realtors, and building contractors. Now, the second class will teach people how to create a backyard wildlife habitat. It includes building a bird box, pollinator garden, and learning what trees and shrubs benefit wildlife. Lunch is provided between workshops, which take place at the district's office. Gurrit says it's a great forum to exchange ideas and speak with the experts.
Well, hopefully if you come to the class, you'll get some really good ideas about things you can do in your own backyard. And you'll also meet people that you can talk to later who are specialists in bird habitat, or our office can come out to your house and do a free site visit, and then we can take a look at different things and see how we can improve the environment.
Many people experience neck pain, and there can be a number of causes for it. Monty Bowen takes a look at the problem in this week's health report.
It could have been caused by any number of things. Sleeping wrong, exercise. According to researchers with the Centers for Disease Control, nearly 20% of us have experienced neck pain within the past 3 months. Knowing the source of the pain can put you and your stiff neck on the road to relief. A stiff neck is typically the result of muscles weakening over time.
Now they're weak and you go to turn, and instead of the joint nicely moving, it's like kind of out of place, and that like catches on something else and pulls a muscle or hits the nerve irregularly, and then you have instant pain, and your body, like almost, we call it protective spasm, doesn't want you to get hurt more, so it goes, and now you're like, oh, I can't even move, and you're wondering what you did.
Doing things like looking down at your computer monitor each day will cause the muscles around the joints to get tired. The monitor should be at eye level and your head straight. Driving for long periods of time or looking at your smartphone can have the same effect. If you're doing this day after day, it adds up and can displace the joint. If your neck is bothering you, you should also pay attention to your sleep positions. Only sleep on your side or on your back, never on your stomach.
Because you end up twisting your head one way or the other for hours at a time, as well as it can affect your low back because your belly like sinks into the bed if you don't have enough support.
The key to relief for a stiff neck is proper stretching and manipulation. If the pain gets in the way of your daily activities, call your doctor. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building, and by Interior Women's Health, located on 1626 30th Avenue.
Hey, my neck hurt.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, same here. I wonder how you get rid of the people who are pains in the neck, though.
I don't know. Let's see.
Coming up in sports, local student athletes sign pieces of paper to play college sports.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Daryl's not a pain in the neck. No. Also, you'll find out who won the College Hoops Challenge. All that and more with Joe Cook next.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening. We'll see who won our College Hoops Challenge. But first, Commitment Tuesday. We start in the Fairbanks Ice Dogs organization, where they continue to produce college hockey players. Here's two players who made their college choices over the weekend.
Recently, Fairbanks Ice Dogs goalie Patrick Munson and first-year forward Jesper Orval committed to Division I hockey programs. Munson, in his second year out of Hugo, Minnesota, will play for the University of Vermont Catamounts. Munson is 24-8-2 on the year. His 24 wins are top 5 in the NAHL. He could be in between the pipes in his first year at Vermont. The ECAC program lost the junior goalie to the NHL.
Well, they made a great offer, and it's a great conference. Hockey, so you're going up against, Boston College, Boston University, some of the best teams in the country, and they want me to step in and play a little bit and get right at it. So I'm really excited.
He's just really matured as a player and as a person, and we couldn't be more excited for the opportunity that presented itself, and he should do really well there.
Orval is a bona fide scorer. Despite missing a number of games due to injuries in his first year of American hockey, the Halmstad, Sweden native has scored 36 points, including 24 goals in just 26 games. He committed to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. He'll join teammate Todd Burgess and another former Swedish Ice Dogs player at RPI. Orval has offense down, but there's something else he'll need to add to his game at the next level.
I know that the NCAA is like a lot of defensive play, and for sure I need to develop my defensive side of the game and be better in my own zone. And I still want to develop my penalty kill side to get more minutes on the ice every game, and that will be something that I'm really excited to develop in college.
At the end of the day, RPI, it seemed like the best fit for him and his family, and Victor Lilligren, who played with us last year, I think he had a big say in that and making Jesper feel comfortable. So we expect him to go into the college level and have an immediate impact.
And yesterday afternoon, another West Valley product signed a national letter of intent. Senior point guard Carly Marquez, joined by her family and teammates, signed a national letter of intent to play for Southwest Oregon Community College. The Lakers went 18-13 last year and made the playoffs. Former Wolfpack player Callie France just finished her sophomore season there. And Rose Matson, Hannah Matson's older sister, also played at SOCC. Marquez ends her career as a three-time all-conference guard in the MAC. She was 13th All-State as a senior, averaging 7 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals per game, helping lead the Wolfpack to a 26-0 record and a state runner-up finish. Marquez reflects.
I think playing basketball here and being with all these girls has definitely made me mature as a person and as a player. I think that I picked Southwestern Oregon though because it was a very tight-knit community. I think it's going to be perfect.
She's right by my side. Okay, what do you see on the court? What do you want changed? And so that general, just being, I always tell her, be my little general on the court, and she just was huge in that. She played that role excellently.
And the team you picked may or may not have won Monday night's NCAA National Title men's basketball game, but it was a good one. This is footage of today's celebration from the Duke faithful at Duke University last night. The Duke Blue Devils rallied in the second half to take down the Wisconsin Badgers. It was tied at the halftime, and Wisconsin led by 9 in the second half. Frank Kaminsky, the player of the year, he had 20 points and 12 rebounds to lead the Badgers, but the Blue Devils had 2 key runs to regain the lead. Their 10-2 run in the last 5 minutes iced the game as Tyus Jones hit a huge 3 down the stretch. The Duke freshman scored a game-high 23 points, 19 in the second half. He was named most outstanding player. Duke wins 68-63, and head coach Mike Krzyzewski wins his 5th national championship. So now that men's March Madness is over, who won the College Hoops Challenge? Me! No, I'm just playing. Drew is this year's College Hoops Challenge winner. Congrats, Drew. You will receive a chainsaw from Outpost, Alaska, and 2 large pizzas from Pizza Hut. Now, Drew had 3 of the final 4 teams right, and he also picked Duke over Wisconsin in the championship game. He made 44 correct picks. Jack was the runner-up. James, was the runner-up, followed by Jack and Nancy. Now, Nancy, she had 46 correct picks to lead all players, but only had Duke in the Final 4, and she had them losing to Kentucky in the title game. Yours truly finished with I was 7th overall with 41 picks, and I had the Badgers winning it all. But I won't get any pizzas or anything for my finish. But that's it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Tuesday night edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz once again talking about weather. It's 51 degrees out there right now. What a great day, and the temperatures are showing that they're going to continue to be quite mild all the way into the weekend. Cooling off a little bit, but still going to be in the 40s, so the ice and snow should continue to melt. We could be snow-free this weekend. How about that? We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Our photograph for tonight, this one's sent in by Dina Cannon. She was in the Healy area and captured this beautiful shot of the moon and the aurora. What a gorgeous shot that is. And again, the colors are just magnificent. And as always, if you have a photograph you want to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. We're getting toward the summertime. Now we're getting lots of animal shots coming in, and we'll be sharing those with you too. Here's what's going on as far as the numbers. The low last night, 28, 50 degrees right now, but it did go to 51 just about 10 minutes ago, so it's kind of fluctuating back and forth. Record high, 58. That was set in 1997. The record low, 24 below in 1986. Now the sunrise and sunset, well, that's about 14 hours and 24 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite and radar. Once again, the good guy, this area of low pressure, is helping to pull all that warm air in all the way around the top of that area of low pressure. That's bringing us a lot of mixed scattered clouds for the most part. No rain. All the rain is being captured down to the south of the Alaska Range, but it's also bringing and transporting lots of warm air, and that shows no signs of changing at all, so that's the good news. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, it is raining once again over southeast Alaska with 48 degrees at Ketchikan. Juneau also reporting rain. To the south, there are a few scattered showers around the Anchorage Bowl, 48 degrees there, 42, and some showers at Kodiak, just cloudy skies at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, temperatures in the low 30s, around 30 at Nome, 5 degrees at Barrow, and Fort Yukon at 28 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather, there's quite a bit to talk about tonight. We'll head on down to the west coast and show you the temperatures are warming back up again. 84 degrees at Phoenix, a few scattered showers over the Seattle area. Not too bad elsewhere, I should say. 64 degrees at Denver, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms isolated in the Dallas area. More activity moving across the Central Plains and over the northeast, some showers once again there. Now on the satellite and radar, you can see again some bands of showers and thunderstorms moving across. Earlier today, there was some pretty heavy activity moving around the St. Louis area. That's out of the picture. More activity moving across the Great Lakes. And then out to the west, we have an area of low pressure, a little cutoff area of low pressure, bringing scattered showers and even the rain down around the Los Angeles area as we speak right now. What else is in store? Well, more heavy activity tomorrow, with actually Thursday, I should say, by isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, flash flooding, and large hail, all setting up for this area here across the lower 48. So it's going to be some wild activity going on there. And it's all being brought in from the jet stream that's moving from the west to the east, basically cutting the country in half, helping to transport those little pockets of moisture and instability and creating all that wild and severe weather. All right, well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like in the northern sections. Some blowing snow is expected in Barrow and the Fort Yukon area, with just snow showers for Nome. Here in the interior, it looks pretty good. In fact, we're looking at mostly sunny skies at Fairbanks, breezy conditions, still hanging around the Delta Junction area, not as warm, not as strong as they were earlier, and mostly cloudy skies in the Healy region. Over southeast Alaska, yep, the rain's going to continue. Periods of rain for Juneau and also at Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, it looks like a mixed bag of weather once again. Rain and snow at Cold Bay and Bethel, with rain expected in Kodiak. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, we're looking at snow showers at Anchorage, rain and snow showers for Homer and Valdez. Okay, time once again to take a look at our kids' weather. And this week we're talking with the youngsters from Arctic Light Elementary School. Tonight, a young lady is going to show you a very nice watercolor she did.
Hi, I'm Trisha Smith from Miss Grogan's 5th grade class at Arctic Light Elementary. I painted this picture with watercolors. It is a nice farm with a mountain range behind it, and I also have a field of fireweed in front.
Nice job, Tricia. And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Tomorrow night, another young lady will be here asking a question about where to go if a tornado strikes. Maybe not, you may not play at Alaska, but we'll tell you what happens if you're somewhere else visiting. Here's your forecast for tonight. 28 degrees, decreasing clouds overnight. Not as warm as it was last night, but still very comfortable. Tomorrow's forecast, another great day with 51 degrees expected again. Mostly sunny skies early, then becoming partly cloudy skies. And the extended forecast, as you can see here, temperatures cooling off a little bit toward the weekend. Looking at overnight lows, also very, very comfortable for this time of year, above normal. and down to the mid-20s with no precipitation expected in the 5-day period there. But really nice today, 51. I love that.
The breeze was very warm. I liked it.
Yeah, the breeze was nice, yeah.
Sure was. Thanks, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, you thought it was your turn, didn't you? Kentucky Senator Rand Paul threw his hat into the ring today to run for the office of president. Lester Holt has more on that.
Now it's my turn. Yep. Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.
Good night.